Hey, love, let's talk about something that isn't always easy, but necessary if you want to feel free: forgiveness. Now, hear me out here because I've been getting channeled messages from Spirit and God that it, I know that with forgiveness, it's really hard sometimes because we have so much hurt that this person did to us. We have so much pain that this situation that we went through, and we feel violated within ourselves. Boundaries were crossed. We feel angry, resentful, and very hurt. But with forgiveness, it's not about really forgiving the other person. It's about releasing it for yourself, truly forgiving yourself, releasing the energy that you have within. Because when you hold on to the anger, the resentment, the pain that you have felt, you are not giving away your energy. You are letting that other person still have a hold on you. They still are able to take your energy and hold on to it. And you don't, it's no longer necessary that they need to do that for you. It's for you to release now. And with releasing it, we are able to let go of these lower vibrational energies and come into more harmony within ourselves, to come into full alignment. And it's easier said than done because some of us have been holding on to this anger, this pain for many years, decades even. And we can find it really hard within ourselves to forgive that other person. And I was like that as well. And I had so much anger and pain from my parents. After my father died, I life really fell apart for everybody. My mom chose to take a path where she dived really deep into drugs and kind of went on benders because she was trying to mask her pain and trying to, you know, not deal with the real world anymore. And she was lying, she was stealing, she was conniving, she was manipulating, you know what I mean? Like all of these different things. I, and then she got caught by the law, okay? And so we had all of this kind of going on with her, and I found it very hard to forgive because she would come back and she would say, "Hey, I'm clean now. I'm good. I'm not doing drugs," but it was like it was a scheme. It was like, manipulation tactics that sometimes addicts use to kind of con you in so that they can get more from you. And so she kept doing that for us. And it was these really gross cycle that we were all going through. And I finally was so angry with her and so upset that I stopped answering phone calls, really for my own mental health, right? We also have to keep that in mind. Like, I was putting up a firm boundary, but also at the same time, I was extremely angry. And a lot of stories were coming out of the woodwork about her in my childhood that I didn't really remember. And all these things kind of came up. And I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I am so angry with you. How could you lie? How could you scheme? How could you be so manipulative and gaslight us? And it's supposed to be you're still a well-functioning adult. Why are your kids having to pick up the pieces and take care of you? And then I got even more angry because it was like my grandparents chose to not do anything and kind of walk away and told us to deal with that. Like, it was so ridiculous. And so I had so much anger within me. And so I realized that I was holding a lot of it in my body. And it was making me ill. So I don't know if you can identify with this, like where you hold so much anger and resentment within you, or stress and pain, and it starts manifesting itself as physical. And I actually started gaining a bunch of weight, and I started having like really bad symptoms of like polycystic ovarian syndrome and whatnot. I'm not going to dive too deep into that, but I was kind of going through that, and I had my moment where I had to meet myself. Like I threw all of it away. Like I threw my shamanism away, I threw my spirituality away, because I was a bitter person, and it's actually going to make me cry, because it's like I kind of lost myself for a minute there, right? Because I just thought that none of it truly mattered anymore. Who cares? I chose to be in lower vibrational energy. And so, for you, maybe you can identify little bits about this story, and you felt that way, and it's manifested in physical ways and mental ways and spiritual ways for you. And when we're able to kind of meet ourselves where we're at in that moment in time, I had to let it go. I had to come back to the present moment. I had to come back to my heart, and I had to release it. And when I started releasing that, a lot of pain started to leave my body, my emotional body, and I was able to start my process of healing. And I'm now choosing to live my life more conscientiously, and choosing to live my life in a more meaningful way, and coming back to spirituality, coming back to eating whole foods, uh, you know, exercising, and just being really at peace with myself. And I was able to really forgive. And now my mother is sober. She's about 6 months sober now. And I'm still very cautious about that with my very firm boundaries. But I'm able to now have conversation with her without feeling this hatred within me and this anger. And, you don't necessarily have to go back and talk to this person, but you do need to release it from your body. We need to let ourselves feel it too. We need to cry. We need to let the emotion kind of come up for you. What's that kind of look like for you? Like, do you need to go scream off of a mountaintop? Do you need to go beat the crap out of, like those dummies at like a gym? What kind of is it for you to start releasing it from our bodies? Because we can come back to the present, we can live in the heart, we can journal about it, but we're still going to have that energy within us, and we need to release it physically as well. And really good journaling prompts, for me, is kind of saying out loud, like, I choose to release this now, and writing it down and solidifying it for you, that you are choosing to release it and to let it leave your body. And when we're able to do that, we can then send more love to ourselves and truly sit. If we need to sit with it, we need to sit with it. And we can let the emotion come up and not the storyline come up. And we can feel the emotion come up, and then we can release it, right? So we do this so that the emotions can start leaving our body. So when that emotion of hatred or anger, maybe whatever kind of comes up for you, you know, you can let it kind of come up, and then you can release it from your body. So acknowledging the wound, but we are in an empowered state where we are saying it no longer serves us anymore. It no longer benefits this part of my life. I'm going to release it now. I'm forgiving myself. And we're going to move through this. So, my friends, I appreciate you so much for being here with me. Drop me a little heart in the chat, in the comment section below if this video really resonated with you. And I want to know how it landed for you, how this video landed for you. And I'm going to put out a survey soon. I'm kind of wondering what you all want to see more videos of, where you're at on your spiritual journey, so I can talk more deeply on those subjects. And as always, I really appreciate the comments that you're leaving me, the likes. It really means a lot to me. And I love what community we're building together. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon.